As many of you know, state and local law enforcement is precluded by law from taking more decisive action, which is why DOD must. They are the ones who have the ability and the authority to act. Congress, yes, and the president, yes, need to move quickly to expand state and local authorities, powers. But DOD has it right now. Sheriff Golden wrote me a few days ago requesting legislation to empower the state police to seriously protect at-risk persons and infrastructure, and if necessary, bring down a dangerous drone or drones. I am now drafting that bill and will soon introduce it. I want to thank him for that idea.
You want to know what the scariest part about this whole entire drone situation for me is? It's not who is behind these drones, and it's not even necessarily what these drones are doing. The scariest part is how quickly this just became kind of accepted as the new norm for a lot of people. What's scary is how quickly some people just try to dismiss this as if it's a non-issue or not a threat or something that no one should be concerned about. What's scary is how quickly people, without doing any research, were just ready to say, hey, this is fake, nothing to see here, we're not going to talk about this. What's scary is how quickly this kind of became part of our daily lives. I mean, let's face it, let's admit it. It's part of our daily lives. I wake up every day now for the last few weeks or the last couple of weeks thinking, hey, immediately when I wake up, all right, let's see what these crazy drones are up to today. And a lot of you all are the same. A lot of you all are here watching this video because this story has become part of your daily life. And that's how things can quickly become normalized. And there's nothing normal about this situation. In fact, my goal is, and there's other people out there that feel the same, our goal is to make sure that this is not normalized, that this does not become the new normal, because it quickly is, ladies and gentlemen. It quickly is. It's like nothing is being done to stop this problem. So every day we wake up and consume more news and information about these drones. And before you know it, it won't even be news anymore. It will just be, oh, of course there's drones in the sky, duh. You know what I mean? But, you know, I'm trying to stop that from happening, and there are other people trying to stop that from happening too. And it's funny because a lot of people have made the joke that if one of these drones were flying over the South, they quickly would have gotten shot down and things like that. And yeah, that may be true, but we have to remember, listen, I know you might not agree with a lot of the politics and the politicians up north and in areas in New Jersey and New York and stuff like that, but there's still a lot of people up there that are real fiery, okay? And, you know, they might not have the firepower that we have down south, but they have the firepower at the mouth. And when you start pissing these people off, the people of New York, some of these people in New Jersey, they don't play that, okay? So they're going to be speaking up, and they're angry. And we got politicians and city councilmen and leaders throughout New York and New Jersey who are not going to take this situation lying down, okay? Like I said, you know, you might not agree with a lot of the politics and politicians up there, but the people up there, listen, they're feisty. They're really feisty. And once they bring out them freaking New York, New Jersey accents and start laying into, you know, Washington, start exposing the current administration for trying to pretend like this isn't an issue. I mean, listen, they're going to get some work done. So luckily, they're speaking out. You know, luckily, what we have going for us is we have people, you know, that are speaking out about this situation, demanding answers, demanding transparency, and basically saying, hey, we're not going to view this as the new normal. We're not going to pretend this is normal like you all. We're dealing with this every day, and something's going to be done about it, or we're going to continue sounding the alarm. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and roll this clip. Let's listen to some of these city leaders up in New York and surrounding areas talk about these drones, and then I'll be right back with more thoughts.
And yet here we are helpless with these ghost drones flying above. We also know that, as Nicole said, this is a public safety issue because there were reports out of New Jersey how somebody who needed to be medevaced to a hospital was prevented from doing so because of the drones. And we're just supposed to take this lightly? With us at the state level is State Senator Jessica Scarcella-Smith.
Thank you. Good morning. One of the best sayings is that sunlight is always the best disinfectant. And leaving people and our community up to their own devices to decide what these drones might be, could be, and not giving the people answers from the top, from the government officials who are way higher up than any of us here locally, it's not right to us as we get hundreds upon hundreds of constituent requests and questions asking them what this is about, that we have no answer. So this is us standing today demanding an answer. We need to be able to tell our constituents what is going on. And even if you just could provide a little bit more information, is this something of ours? Is this something that you need to do for security purposes? Even if it's vague, an answer is better than look away. Don't look up. That's unacceptable. And the people of New York, the people of New Jersey, which I have friends who are complaining that there are dozens upon dozens above her house. She lives by a military installation in Jersey every single night, and nobody's doing anything. We need answers, and we need them now. Thank you.
Thank you, Jessica. Now, there's also reports of why don't you shoot them down? Perhaps the President of the United States or the Governor of the state of New York or elsewhere should say or issue an executive order to allow people to shoot the things down. There were those who had said in public life, well, don't be concerned. Some of those people actually said they don't know what they are, but don't be concerned. You can't have it both ways. How can you not know what they are and say you shouldn't be concerned? So we're getting to the point of reckless rhetoric, reckless behavior, and basically, as I said before, you're either lying or incompetent to the people. State Senate Assemblyman Michael Tanuso. So you know about it.
Thank you to the borough president for holding this press conference today. Tons and tons of constituents have contacted my office. I know they contacted the offices of my colleagues, and we just don't know what to tell them. We just don't know what to tell them because we're not getting any answers, and it's completely inexcusable. They owe it to the taxpayers. We owe it to the taxpayers. We, as representatives of the taxpayers, need to be able to inform our constituents of what the investigation has yielded. And we have none of that. We have none of that. They're either lying or they're incompetent. It's 2024. You mean to tell me that we don't have the means to find out what these are within our own borders, over New Jersey, over Staten Island, over the tri-state area? Completely inexcusable. And I call not just on the federal government, I call on the New York State Police, I call on the NYPD to get involved, coordinate, investigate, so we could finally get some answers for our constituents. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Well, point of personal privilege. At 10:02, I just became a grandfather.
Aren't you glad we moved the press conference up?
He made a point that I've been making a lot on this channel, and that is that you can't have it both ways. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't say, we don't know what these things are, but they're of no concern. They pose no threat. You can't say that. If you don't know what these things are, then you don't know if they pose a threat or not. But despite how much this story has blown up, despite how many people we've heard from, there are still people that refuse to believe that this is real. They refuse to believe that this is a real problem or that this is really happening. And, to those people, I will say this because I'm open-minded. I'm open to all possibilities. Let's say this isn't real. Let's say none of this is really happening. The fact remains that they are acting as if it's happening. Now, let me make this clear because some people have a misunderstanding every time I make a video. I am not telling you that this is not happening. I believe it's happening. Some people don't believe it's real. They believe all of this is made up. So if all of this is made up, then that's even more concerning. Because even if this isn't happening, at the very least, they're acting as if it's happening. So why would they be acting like this is happening? You know what I mean? So you can't sit here and say, oh, this isn't real, this isn't really happening, and blow it off. Because if this isn't really happening, then why are they pretending this is happening? Obviously, it's for some type of concerning reason. So you can't take those type of angles when trying to blow off a story. The reality is a lot of people don't want to rack their brain. A lot of people want to feel comfortable and secure, okay? That's what they want. And they want to live in their own fairy tale land. And they will dismiss things like this because it makes them feel more comfortable. But you shouldn't feel comfortable. If you really think this is all made up, fake mumbo jumbo, you shouldn't feel comfortable about Congress, the Senate, the U.S. military, the FBI, law enforcement agencies, and you name it, coming up with a big hoax about drones. Because if that's what they're doing, then that's 10 times more concerning than this story being real, which I do believe this story is real. Do you all understand what I'm saying here? It's not like you could just say, oh, they're making this up and blow it off. Okay, so why are they making it up then? What do you think they plan on doing after this? What are they making stuff up like this for? People don't even want to think that far. They just want to say, oh, it's not real, and shut off their brains so they can go play video games and drink soy milk lattes and stuff like that. But yeah, that's all I have to say to the people who are still in denial about this problem. But, I mean, whatever the problem is and whatever the explanation is behind it, this is not something that can be dismissed. You know, like I said, even if there is a chance that this isn't real, and everyone who's speaking out about this is making this up, they're all in on it, then what are they doing this for? That's kind of scary, if you ask me. But you let me know what you think about all of this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all very, very soon in the next video.